In the DC animated TV series Young Justice, one of the lead heroes on the teenage crime-fighting team is Superboy, whose real name is Connor Kent, and his Kryptonian name is Con-El. Now, before I go any further, I must say that there are many different versions of this character, and that this origin video is based exclusively on the Young Justice TV series version of Superboy. Now, when you hear the name Superboy, you immediately think that he must be related to Superman, and you're right, Superboy is Superman's clone.
I'm Superman's clone.
The supervillain team, The Light, decide to clone Superboy, allegedly so that if Superman ever turned against the human race, they would have a weapon to fight him with. The weapon, of course, is Superboy.
I am the Superboy, a xenomorph, a clone made from the DNA of the Superman, created to replace him should he perish, to destroy him should he turn from the light.
And though they say that they have altruistic reasons for creating Superboy, it is much more likely that they would have just used him as their own personal weapon for God knows what nefarious purpose.
You must control his mind.
Doesn't seem to be much mind in there left to control.
But be still.
Superboy was created in the Cadmus facility in Washington, DC, and the Cadmus scientists cloned Superboy by stealing DNA from Superman. However, it wasn't a simple cloning job. Kryptonian DNA is much more complicated than human DNA, and human scientists have trouble cloning it. And because of this, the first time Cadmus tried to clone Superman, it was a failure. They created the clone Match, and although he had all of Superman's powers, flight, heat vision, speed, strength, and so on, he was unfortunately violently insane.
Stop! I'm on your side!
Needless to say, that wasn't very useful to anyone, so Match was put in a pod and left in stasis, presumably until a use could be found for him, or at least a way to control him.
The League will arrive shortly. Leave nothing behind we might need. Match, of course.
And the human scientists attempted to clone Superman again, but this time they used a Kryptonian-human hybrid of DNA, with the Kryptonian DNA coming from Superman and the human DNA coming from Lex Luthor. The scientists hoped this would fix the clone's psychological problems, and they were right. They made Superboy, who is sane but does have anger management issues.
What's the point? You're all such poor copies of the originals.
So everyone keeps saying. It makes me angry! Wanna see me channel that anger?
But despite his anger, he is a normal, sane individual, meaning the cloning process was a success. Unfortunately, because Superboy is not a pure Kryptonian, having human DNA, he does not have all of Superman's powers. He cannot fly.
I'm falling. Superman can fly. Why can't I fly?
And he does not have heat vision.
You here to help us or fry us?
Huh. I don't seem to have heat vision, so I suppose helping is my only option.
And though it is never mentioned in the series, it seems that he does not have Superman's ice breath either. He does appear to have Superman's other powers, but they are weaker and watered down versions. Instead of Superman's super speed, he is only faster than a normal human. Instead of X-ray vision, he has infrared vision.
Motherbox says there's a large cache of apocalyptic technology inside.
Infrared vision shows no heat signatures.
He does have superhuman senses, super hearing.
With Superman off-world, only one thing alive with less than 4 legs can hear this frequency, Superboy, and that's you.
And super smell.
I smell smoke.
My cookies!
As for his strength and invulnerability, they are at top levels, but still appear to be less than Superman's.
I had that. I didn't want to take the chance. As it is, your landing could have destabilized the entire bridge. It didn't, but it could have. We don't yet know the limits of your powers. Well, maybe you could, help me figure that out. Batman's got that covered.
This is all because of his human DNA, though he is still vulnerable to kryptonite. Though it would make sense for the kryptonite to be less effective on him than it would be on Superman.
Sure about this?
Do it!
Cloning process used to make him also froze him in the body of a 16-year-old boy. He was aged artificially to be 16 and does not visibly age, at least on the outside.
It's become clear the processes used to create me had a side effect. I don't visibly age. At all. I'm not immortal. I'm aging eternally. But I'll always look...
This good?
Standard blessing and curse.
Now, he wasn't originally planned to be on the team as a superhero. Cadmus seemed to keep him in a stasis pod until they needed him. In the pod, he was force-fed a psychic education from 3 genomes. That was until Kid Flash, Robin and Aqualad decided to investigate Cadmus.
Alright, Project Cadmus, genetics lab, here in DC. That's all there is. But if Batman's suspicious, maybe we should investigate.
During their investigation of the Washington DC Cadmus facility, they discovered a secret underground facility that was 52 stories deep. They also found out that Cadmus was illegally creating clones.
They call them genomorphs. Whoa, look at the stats on these things. Super strength, telepathy, razor claws, these are living weapons.
Cadmus discovered them and they were found by security, but not before they found out about Project KR. They escaped the security temporarily and found Project KR. The project turned out to be the clone Superboy. They hacked the Cadmus system and found out that he was an illegal clone of Superman who had been force-grown and aged in 16 weeks to be a 16-year-old boy, and they decided that he was being imprisoned and that they should free him.
This is wrong.
We can't leave him like this.
Set him free. Do it.
Unfortunately, Superboy was under the psychic control of Cadmus genomes, and so he took all 3 of them down and gave them over to Cadmus. Later, when he was alone with the 3 heroes, he talked to them, and even through the psychic control, they were able to persuade him to help them.
We only sought to help you.
Yeah, we free you and you turn on us. How's that for gratitude?
Kid, please, be quiet now. I believe our new friend was not in full control of his actions.
What if I wasn't?
The team were then able to break free with Superboy's help and attempted to leave the facility, but were overpowered by a genome army. That is, until one of the genomes, called Double X, used his psychic mind powers to free Superboy's mind and allow him to make up his own mind.
Perhaps for the sake of all genomorphs, our brother Superboy should make up his own mind.
And Superboy chose to leave Cadmus and go free. Double X also freed Guardian, the head of security, from mind control, and he decided to let the heroes go. But the head of the Washington DC facility, Mark Desmond, didn't agree with this and took a formula that turned him into a super strong, nearly invulnerable monster so that he could deal with the heroes himself. The team were able to take him down, but in doing so destroyed the Cadmus facility and drew the attention of the Justice League, including Superman. Superman is Superboy's idol, and he had hoped that when he met Superman that he would be happy to see him. Unfortunately, Superman was not happy to see a clone of himself.
We'll figure something out for you. The League will, I mean. For now, I'd better make sure they get that blockbuster creature squared away.
After the 4 young heroes had explained what had happened, the 4 demanded to be on a team of their own, with Superboy officially joining as a hero.
Why let them tell us what to do? It's simple. Get on board, or get out of the way.
And that is his origin. Superboy is arguably the most powerful member on the team, next to Miss Martian, and I do really like what they've done with his character. Giving him the half-human DNA and then using it to limit his powers is a great use of the character, because the main problem with Superman is that he's so powerful that he has no real obstacles or challenges to overcome, because he has godlike power, so what could ever realistically threaten him? But by making Superboy weaker than Superman, he does have obstacles, and it's realistic when he is challenged and if he fails. But what do you think of the character? Do you like him and his human limitations? Or would you prefer if he had Superman's full powers? Be sure to let us know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment.
Hey Soupy, not too late to put on the new stealth tech.
No capes, no tights. No offense,